Daniel thought love could wait. He thought love would stay quietly in the corner while he chased money, success, and respect. But one morning, when he opened his eyes, the woman who loved him most was gone. Daniel was 35 years old. He worked as a manager in a small company in the city. He was not a bad man, but he was always busy. Every day he left home early and came back late. His phone was always in his hand. His mind was always at work. His wife, Emma, was a quiet and kind woman. She worked part-time at a small flower shop. She liked simple things: a warm meal, a short walk, a cup of tea together at night. She did not ask Daniel for expensive gifts. She only wanted his time. In the beginning, Daniel and Emma were very happy. They used to eat dinner together. They talked about their dreams. Daniel promised her, "One day I will give you a better life." Emma smiled and said, "I don't need a big life. I only need a happy one with you." But slowly, Daniel changed. He worked more, he smiled less. When Emma spoke, he answered with only one or two words. "Daniel, how was your day?" she asked. "Tiring," he said, looking at his phone. "Do you want tea?" "Later." "Can we go out this Sunday?" "I'm busy." Emma tried to understand. She told herself he was working hard for their future. She told herself he still loved her, just in a quiet way. But love cannot live only in silence.
Months passed, then years. Daniel bought a better car. He got a higher position at work. People respected him. His friends said, "You are lucky. You are successful." But at home, Emma was becoming lonely. She still cooked his favorite food. She still waited for him at night. Sometimes she fell asleep on the sofa while waiting. When Daniel came home, he only said, "Why are you sleeping here? Go to bed." He never saw the tears dried on her face. One night, Emma placed a small cake on the table. There was one candle on it. Daniel entered the house while talking on the phone. "Yes, send me the report tonight," he said. Emma stood near the table and smiled softly. "Daniel," she said, "do you remember what day it is?" He looked at her for a second. "I'm too tired for games, Emma." Her smile disappeared. "It's our anniversary," she whispered. Daniel looked at the cake. Then he sighed. "Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I have a meeting tomorrow." He went to the bedroom. Emma stayed beside the cake for a long time. The candle slowly burned down. She did not cry loudly. She only sat in silence.
The next morning, she acted normal. She made breakfast. She ironed his shirt. She smiled when he left. But inside her heart, something broke. After that day, Emma spoke less. She stopped asking him to go out. She stopped waiting at the door. She stopped telling him about her day. Daniel noticed, but he felt relieved. At least she is not complaining anymore, he thought. He did not know that silence was not peace. Silence was goodbye. One evening, Daniel came home very late. The house was dark. There was no dinner on the table, no sound from the kitchen, no soft voice saying, "You're home." He called, "Emma?" No answer. On the dining table, there was a white envelope. His hands felt cold before he even opened it. Inside was a letter. "Daniel, I loved you for many years. I waited for you, not for money, not for gifts, but for your heart. I know you are not a cruel man, but you became absent while standing beside me. I was married,
but I felt alone. I tried to speak. I tried to wait. I tried to understand. But I cannot keep losing myself for someone who no longer sees me. I am leaving, not because I hate you, but because I finally need to love myself. Please take care of yourself. Emma. Daniel read the letter again and again.
For the first time in years, the house felt too quiet. He called her phone. It was turned off. He called her sister. Her sister only said, "She is safe. Please don't look for her tonight. She needs peace." Daniel sat on the floor. He looked around the room. Everything reminded him of Emma. The cup she used every morning, the plant she watered near the window, the scarf she forgot on the chair. He suddenly remembered all the small moments he had ignored. Her tired smile, her quiet questions, her waiting eyes. And now there was no one waiting. Days passed. Daniel could not focus at work. His reports had mistakes. His boss became angry. His friends invited him out, but he refused. The success he had chased felt empty. One Sunday, he opened an old drawer and found a small notebook. It was Emma's diary. He knew he should not read it, but his heart was weak. He opened the first page. Today, Daniel came home late again. I wanted to tell him I felt sick, but he looked too tired. I made soup for him instead. He turned another page.
"It is our anniversary." He forgot. I smiled because I didn't want him to feel guilty, but I cried after he slept. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. Then he saw one page that made his hands shake. "I went to the clinic today. The doctor said I may need more tests. I wanted Daniel to come with me, but he had a meeting. I told him nothing." Daniel's heart almost stopped. He called Emma's sister again. "What clinic? What happened to Emma?" he asked. There was silence on the phone. Then her sister said softly, "She didn't want you to know. She has a serious heart problem. She found out months ago." Daniel could not speak. The plot twist crushed him.
Emma had not only been lonely, she had been scared, and she had faced it alone. Daniel dropped the phone and cried like a child. The next morning, he went to the flower shop where Emma used to work. The owner knew him. She looked at him with sad eyes. "She loved you very much," the woman said. "Do you know where she is?" Daniel asked. The woman shook her head. "No, but she left something for you." She gave him a small box. Inside was his old watch. Emma had bought it for him when they were poor. There was also a note. "You once told me this watch made you feel strong. I hope it reminds you that time is not only for work, time is also for love." Daniel held the watch close to his chest. For weeks, he searched for Emma. He sent messages. He wrote letters. He apologized again and again. But Emma did not return. 1 month later, he received a message from her. "Daniel, I read your letters. I believe you are sorry. But sorry cannot give back the years I cried alone. I am going for treatment in another city. Please do not follow me. Change your life, not to get me back, but because you finally understand." Daniel sat for a long time after reading the message. He wanted to run to her. He wanted to beg.
but for the first time, he respected her pain more than his own fear. So he changed. He left his extra night work. He stopped answering work calls during dinner time. He visited his old mother more often. He listened when people spoke.
He learned to be present. But every evening, when the house became quiet, he still looked at the empty chair across the table. 1 year later, Daniel saw Emma again. It happened at a small park. She was sitting on a bench, holding a book. She looked thinner, but peaceful. Daniel stopped walking. Emma looked up. Their eyes met. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Daniel said, "Emma, I'm sorry." She nodded slowly. "I know." "I was blind," he said. "You were beside me, but I treated you like tomorrow was promised." Emma's eyes became wet. "I waited for many tomorrows," she said, "but they never came." Daniel looked down. "Are you better?" he asked. "I'm still healing," she said, "in many ways." He understood. She was not only talking about her heart. Daniel wanted to ask her to come back. The words were ready in his mouth. But then he saw her face. She looked calm, free, stronger than before. So he only said, "I hope you are happy." Emma gave him a small smile. "I hope you are kinder now," she said. Then she walked away. Daniel watched her leave, but this time he did not chase her. He knew love was not control. Love was care. Love was attention. Love was showing up before someone's heart became tired. Years later, Daniel still kept the old watch on his desk. Whenever someone at work said, "We need you to stay late again," he looked at the watch and remembered Emma. He remembered the woman who only wanted tea, dinner, and a little time. And he remembered the hardest truth of his life. Sometimes people do not leave because they stop loving you. They leave because they are tired of loving alone. Love does not die in one day. It dies slowly when attention, care, and kindness disappear. Never become too busy to love the person who is quietly waiting for you.